What is up guys, it's your boy Solheim here, back with another classic WoW video for Season of Discovery. Now, Phase 4 is actually available on the public test realm, and you can try it out yourself right now. I just want to make that public, even though Blizzard themselves has, and there's been a blue post about this, I want to say it as well. You can try out Phase 4 right now on the public test realms. In order to do this, all you have to do is set up an account for PTR, public test realms, then click play, update, and go to the seasonal server. You want to have the classic era PTR here, and then when you go into server options, you go from classic era to hardcore to seasonal as well. So down in the bottom you will have those selections, and then you can pick the seasonal servers on the classic era PTR. Now with this you can actually test things out on the PTR, as we're about to do in future videos as well, testing out a bunch of things on the PTR and looking at what Phase 4 has to offer right now. For this video I want to go over the blue post about Phase 4 and the PTR as well, the patch notes basically, and keep you guys up to date. Now, I know you can just go and read them for yourself if you want to, but I also know that some people want to have them read out to them, that way you can have it on a second monitor and just listen while playing the game, or while playing the PTR yourself. So with that being said, what does PTR have in store for us? Well, let's check out the blue post. For the blue post itself, Season of Discovery Phase 4 is coming, and with it, players will be able to level 60, discover new class runes, enter the Molten Core raid dungeon, to face Ragnarok, and more. So exactly what's in store? We are leveling up Season of Discovery Phase 4 with a variety of leveling changes, new rune discoveries, class adjustments, professions, and reputation updates, dungeon updates, PvP class sets, updated events, raid content, world bosses, and more. First off, level from 50 to 60. This one's obvious. Updated Discoverer's Delight buff. So from level 1 to 50, aka old content, you now level at a 150% increase rate. From level 50 to 60, it's 50% faster than what we are used to, so there's that. Now, there's new runes for each class to discover. There's a new cloak rune slot. Now, I can see them adding more about this in future phases, where they go through Phase 5, Phase 6 and stuff like that, adding more rune slots as they go through, but for now we have the cloak one. Utility runes. These class-agnostic utility runes will provide additional bonuses to a variety of skills, such as additional bonuses to a variety of stats such as weapon skill, spell hit, and more. There's new ring rune slots for this exact thing. Now for class adjustments, they state many classes will experience changes, such as select runes becoming baseline abilities, and new runes will become available. Professions and reputation updates, new and enhanced profession recipes for Ardent Dawn, Thorium Brotherhood, Hydraction Waterlords, and Timber Hold. Now as of right now, in Phase 3 you can farm at least 2 of these reputations, maybe even 3. I know you can farm Ardent Dawn and even Timber Hold, and maybe even Thorium Brotherhood. Now, one more thing, and this one is big, Nightmare Incursions have been updated to daily quest hubs. This one is great. This is exactly what I wanted to see. Like, well, number 1 would be Incursions being gone from the game entirely, just to throw that in the bin. The next best thing is them becoming daily quest hubs, because by themselves, they aren't bad, but the fact is, like, when they made it so you can just, like, spam the same 7 quests on repeat, that became so boring but so effective that people did it anyway, and they got the gear and gold and leveled fast. It's everything you want from leveling anyway, so that was really bad, but when it's daily you can't spam it anymore, so that's perfect. Now the next one I am really not impressed about. New Stranglethorn Veil and Blood Moon rewards and currency. If this is supposed to be the main PvP event one more time, another phase, I really don't want to see that happen. Why not give us pretty much anything else, even going back to the old Battle of Hillsbrad or something? Just anything else. I'm so done with STV. I don't want that event anymore. That is just me though, maybe I'm being crazy here, maybe some of you are loving the STV event, but for me, it was really fun. Phase 2, Phase 3 really boring, don't want to go there again in Phase 4, probably won't even go there, unless the rewards are absolutely insane. And I guess that's what Blizzard is going for here, they're just putting it into the game, and if you want to play then you can, and if you don't want to, you don't have to. Either way, I think it's not probably the best decision to go for the same event 3 phases in a row, and there should be something new. Next up though, we have dungeon updates, updated rewards and the new dungeons available at level 60. So we have Blackrock Depth, the second part, Blackrock Spire, we also have Dire Maul, confirmed now being available in Phase 4, 3 wings over there, we have Skolemans and Stratholm. There's also PvP class sets for rank 10, that's beautiful. Then we have a Molten Core raid dungeon. You can experience Molten Core as a 20-player dungeon with 10 classic bosses, revamped loot, redesigned tier 1 sets, ooh, okay, and more. Players will also be able to turn up the heat with a new variable difficulty mechanic. Okay. Does that kind of sounds like Ulduar to me. Ulduar from Wrath. When they started adding the optional hardcore bosses, or optional heroic, kind of, where you could activate hard mode. If that also gives you better loot, there has to be a risk versus reward here, so doing that, giving you a bigger challenge, also should come with a more desirable reward. Even if that's not player power, it could be a cosmetic reward or something like that, just something that gives you the incentive to actually do so. Don't forget your fire resistant gear, you're going to need it. Okay, we'll be adding one more surprise to this classic raid dungeon for intrepid adventurers to discover. Okay, dude, I'm kind of I'm hyped. I want to see Molten Core in a better state than Season of Mastery. World Bosses update, experience Lord Cassock and Ashurigos as brand new instanced versions of these encounters. Brand new instanced versions, okay? These encounters can be experienced with up to 40 players, but will be tuned as 20-player content. So if you just make a 40-man pug, it should be really easy then, because you have twice the people. Onyxia will also be adjusted to accommodate 40 or less players, along with some additional loot adjustments. Does that mean they're going to put in flex raiding for Onyxia, so her health scales based on how many people you have? Or is it just going to be scaled for 20-player content, but you can still bring 40? We will have a lot more to share in the coming weeks beyond this brief overview, and have more in development for this phase that we can't wait for you to discover. Stay tuned to the official site for more information, got a full Phase 4 overview. We look forward to bringing this endgame experience for Season of Discovery to life. Now, that's the initial blue post for the whole season, kinda, for the Phase 4. A brief overview going through pretty much everything in a whole generalized state. We also have another post as well, which goes way deeper into things, and I can't promise you I'll read the entire thing, because scrolling through this quickly, there's a bunch of information, and as you can see, there's a lot of class-specific things, so I think I'm going to leave those to you guys and just go and read them for yourself, but I want to go through the general things before the class changes, okay? So, WoW Classic, Season of Discovery, Phase 4 PTR Development Note. Welcome to the WoW Classic, Season of Discovery, Patch 1.15.3, or Phase 4 PTR. Below you will find a list of notable changes available for a test, as well as information about how to access testing vendors, the test raid boss, and more. So for the testing focus, the focus of our first round of PTR is to evaluate level 60 classes with all runes available and an initial round of class and rune adjustments. Please note that we do not currently consider any class to be in its final state and expect many classes to continue to change throughout the PTR process, and we are eager for class feedback as we move forward towards the release of Phase 4. Please note that while new raid content rune discoveries, and most other new content, including new dungeon drops, will not be available. The Sunken Temple, as well as all normal dungeons, will be available should you wish to test the dungeon runs or the previous raids with the current round of class adjustments. So, number 1, accessing the PTR. Once you have launched the WoW Classic Era PTR from your dropdown, you will find the seasonal tab on realm selection. You can find the classic seasonal PTR realm right there. Level 60 character template. In order to access the level 60 character templates, you simply need to create a new character on the classic seasonal PTR realm. When doing so, your newly created character will be automatically leveled to 60 and have gear in their bags. Level 60 templates are equipped with a newly revamped dungeon or tier 0 set pieces. These characters also have a selection of other gear and supplies in their bags, including the new dungeon upgrade or tier 0.5 sets. Please note that these sets and set bonuses are currently a work in progress. Additionally, all characters have access to all rune abilities up through level 60, as well as any abilities that are learned from the skill books, including any former rune abilities which may have been made baseline in Phase 4. Then we have Phase 4 vendor and test dummies. 3 new vendors have been set up in Stormwind and Orgrimmar, selling basic supplies such as consumables, enchants, and gear from the Sunken Temple raid, should players choose to utilize them. Target dummies may also be found just outside of the main entrances to Stormwind and Orgrimmar. Accessing the Searing Basin test raid. We've set up a test instance called the Searing Basin, which may be accessed by speaking with Gurthok in Stormwind and Orgrimmar to teleport to the instance. You may enter the Searing Basin solo or with a raid group of up to 20 people. The boss test work is available for you to test with. Please note that test work will require tanks and healers to engage. This is perfect. So we're not actually testing Molten Core here, but we're testing the Searing Basin raid. And then we have a bunch of Phase 4 class adjustments, which I'm not going to read through all of them, but I'll be linking you to the post in the description down below or in the pinned comment, so you can go and check it out for yourself, and you can read about the class that you are intending to play. What I want to say is that these are super early adjustments to every single class, and if you do want to, you can just wait a couple of weeks and let Blizzard do their work based on feedback. But if you want to come with your own feedback, then read these changes, play the PTR, play your class, do some testing, then leave some feedback on your class if you want to have some input on future changes to your class. So TLDR, these are really early class adjustments. There's probably many more to come in the coming days, weeks, whatever amount of time until the launch of Phase 4. So to me, these class adjustments are less important right now, although they show you the direction Blizzard wants to go with the classes. They show you their initial plans, and then you can help them decide based on feedback. Now, what I will say is that being on the PTR myself, I just love seeing this many people on the public test realm. The second it got announced, there's just so many people here already that it makes me feel really happy about the state of Phase 4 maybe, and the hype behind the entire Phase 4. And it's fun to see. Like, not everyone wants to play on a PTR anyway, they just want to wait until the game comes out. But if you want to test out your class before it comes out, well, here you can. And once again, you can see all of the gear that we get access to. You can see the updates they're given to us as well. So a lot of them just gives you way more spell power now than they used to, which is pretty good. And the Magister's set piece, as you can see, your spell cast have a 6% chance to energize you for 300 mana. There's a bunch of changes to a lot of these items in here, and we also got other gear in our bags as well that we can use if we want to, many of which have also received updates. Not all of them have, but many of them have. We can also look at the runes that we have access to, which are pretty much the runes you know about already, but going down to not hands but ring or the finger runes, we can see a couple of different ones. Well, first of all, we have the back runes. These are the brand new ones for the season. So for mages, we have the Overheat rune. Fire and Blast will always deal a critical strike and can be cast while casting another spell. So while doing Fireball, for example, you can still Fire Blast in the middle of that cast and is not affected by the global cooldown. For Arcane, we finally have Arcane Barrage, which is absolutely perfect. I've been asking for this since Phase 2 and finally we get it. And we also have Frozen Orb for, well, pretty much any spec, but I guess it's intended for Frost, so we have Frozen Orb as well. Now, for the ring with the finger slots, as you can see, we have the skill with swords, skill with daggers, skill with pole arms, and we also have something called Arcane Fire and Frost specializations, which I think is for mages, and then for druids it's probably going to be different, so you can get different things, but chance to hit with arcane spells increased by 6%, then we have fire, the same one, 6%, and frost, the same one, 6%. For druids, I would assume there's a nature one here as well instead of just arcane, so you can choose one that benefits your class. But yeah, Season of Discovery Phase 4 is available for testing. Go and download the PTR if you haven't yet, make a character, try it out, do a couple of testing raids, or even just go and try your class out on a target dummy. Do something on the PTR, give feedback to Blizzard if you want to. Either way, the PTR is available and you can play it if you want to. That's pretty much the video, so let me know what you think about Season of Discovery Phase 4 in the comments down below. Are you going to play? Have you quit and will not come back? Let me know, I would love to hear your stance on Phase 4. So, with that being said, thank you so much for watching, I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you again in the next video. Oh yeah, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, it really helps out. Okay, bye.